Hi, I'm Matt. Choosing your subject and writing your thesis statement can be intimidating, especially if this is the first time you're writing a paper in a particular subject. But don't worry. While the thesis statement is perhaps the most important part of your paper, it's also just one more sentence that needs to be written. Here's some advice that should help you write a strong thesis statement. If you have the option, pick a topic that you are passionate about. Writing papers is a long, detailed process, and if you're not invested in the material, it can be quite a slog. Coming up with a thesis statement about something that doesn't interest you can be very difficult. So starting from a place of enthusiasm is always a good idea. Readers can also tell when a writer doesn't really care about the material. Since the amount of effort you put into something is generally related to how much you enjoy doing it, a paper based on a topic you don't care about will almost certainly seem thin, rushed, or poorly constructed. Of course, sometimes you just don't have the option of picking the topic you're writing about. If you find yourself struggling to find a point that interests you about a subject, try finding a topic that's easy for you to explain or defend with strong evidence. This can be a topic that's easy to research or one that simply has a logical progression that is obvious to you. But so long as you can build a good paper out of it, you'll be fine. Your thesis statement is the core structural element of your paper. The language you use in your thesis statement must show the strength of your argument, so it has to be direct and use an active voice. Technically speaking, active voice means that the subject of the sentence is acting upon the verb. In the context of the thesis statement, this means that you need to state what your argument is in a straightforward, declarative way. For example, say your thesis is about the harmful effects of coal power on the environment. A strong thesis could be, coal power must be phased out due to the damage it does to the environment. This sentence is direct, since we understand the point being made. It takes a firm stance on the issue. A weaker version of the sentence would be, the re-evaluation of coal power's environmental effects could lead to it being phased out. While it's a fine sentence, this is a poor thesis statement because we aren't sure what the author's position is on the topic. While the sentence does convey information, it feels more like a report than an argument. Also, don't worry about trying to account for other viewpoints in your thesis statement. While some subject matter can be controversial, with strong points on both sides, the thesis statement is not the place to acknowledge opposing arguments. In your thesis statement, get right to the point, and leave the discussion of opposing views for the body of your paper. While this might seem like an obvious thing to avoid, many people make arguments without knowing what they're talking about. If you do this in academic writing, people will easily be able to poke holes in your paper, and you'll most likely end up with a bad grade or review. It doesn't matter how well written your thesis statement is if you can't support it with evidence. To avoid this, read your material more than once and make absolutely sure that your thesis statement actually has grounding and supporting evidence to back it up. If you are writing about scientific topics or matters that are based on historical facts, research other sources that verify your primary material. Never guess or make assumptions about the accuracy of your points. If you're not sure that one of your points is valid, reread your material. You may also want to have someone you trust read your paper to ensure that your points are clear and convincing. Remember, the strongest arguments are made with knowledge and experience, so don't let yourself fall into the trap of thinking you know better if you've only skimmed the chapter or watched one video. Hopefully this video has given you some helpful advice for writing your thesis statement. If you need a little bit more help, especially with the grammar of your paper, try out the EasyBib Grammar Checker. Thanks for watching.